Let's get ready to riot, riot.
Though this nation has proudly thought of itself as a ethnic melting pot, in things racial, we have always been, and we, I believe, continue to be, in too many ways, essentially a nation of cowards.
Adam Taxon here with more coverage of the feral mob violence in Missouri and elsewhere that you're not going to get from the so-called mainstream media. It is Wednesday, November 26th, and many of you are seeing today the footage from yesterday or last night in Minneapolis, I know it was during the day, of the car going through a crowd of what I call Michael Brownshirts and what big media, of course, likes to call peaceful protesters. If you haven't, well, here it is.
Protester just been ran over. Been run over by the protesters, been run over. Chopper to boot, protester just got ran over. Now he's running over more. He's running over more cars.
Yeah, you gotta love the big media airhead there, describing the situation with the, now he's running over more, as if it's a Muslim driving through a bus stop in Jerusalem, completely ignoring that the Michael Brownshirts were completely surrounding the car. Well, big media fools like that are why you come to my videos, right? On that note, don't forget to subscribe to the A Taxon channel, and there should be something in the top right to do so. Made it easy for you. In sum, what I have to say about the video is, well played, driver, well played. Who knows what could have happened to you? On that note, I take you back with another video, 22 and a half years. Wow, it's really been that long. To the LA Rodney King riots. Let me refresh you with this clip of the white truck driver, Reginald Denny, what happened to him after he went somewhere that was not safe for white people to be.
It was the beating that symbolized the lawlessness and brutality of the Los Angeles riot. Truck driver Reginald Denny dragged from his rig and nearly killed. Today, as Denny recovers in intensive care, police say this same videotape that horrified the nation helped them make their arrest. 4 men suspected in the attack are in custody. All 4 are members of the infamous LA gang, the Cribs.
To summarize, let me just repeat an online comment of a good friend of mine from Pennsylvania, Paul, who happens to be quite an expert in self-defense. Here is what he wrote in regard to what happened in Minneapolis. He wrote, "One word of advice. If they block your car and threaten your family and life, push gas firmly. This is self-defense, as given an opportunity, i.e. you stopping, they will kill you." That is exactly what the driver in Minnesota seems to do. Now, if any of you are willing to take on a homework assignment here, Google Jew Without a Gun by Robert J. Avrich. A-V-R-I-C-H. I apologize if I'm mispronouncing it. But he happens to be an Emmy Award-winning screenwriter in L.A. He and his wife and children were all too close to the 1992 riots, which I just showed a clip from. I recommend you read the whole thing, the main point of which is to arm yourself and know how to use those weapons. But related to what I'm talking about here, if you're in a situation in which your vehicle is surrounded by feral civilization challenge types, becoming familiar with the following passage in particular might come in handy. Average writes, well into the essay, the following, as he tries to make an escape from an event in LA that the mob had come close to. He writes this: "Looters help themselves to everything from television sets and stereos to diapers and liquor. Every so often we hear the distinctive flat crack of gunfire. Nowhere do we see any police. Trying to avoid a massive traffic jam, I turn down a side street. Karen," that's the writer's wife, leans forward, spots something and cries, "No!" 30 yards separate us from a group of thugs who are chilling in the street. They watch us with flinty eyes. All wicked and street savvy, they shuffle in our direction. They're all, "Yo, yo, yo," and I'm all, "Oi, oi, oi." Call me crazy, but I have a sneaking suspicion they're not looking to discuss the cinema of Oscar Michaud. "Let's get out of here," Karen says. "Who am I to disagree with the love of my life?" I shift into reverse, back up a few feet, shift into drive, angling for a sharp U-turn, but the thugs are coming up awfully fast in my rear view mirror. I'm pretty sure one of the locals is toting a Tech 9, or maybe it's just a chunk of lumber. And I've got a Swiss Army knife. Talk about being outgunned. Do not mess with Gloria Graham. Robert, says Karen through clenched teeth, no time for a neat driver's ed 3-point turn. I blast forward, squeak through a gap between two parked cars, hurtle right up onto the sideway, and then crunch. Yet another bone-rattling move down the high curb, back into the street, and away we go. Some move, says Karen. She touches my shoulder, and to this very day I still feel the cool imprint of her hand. It's Karen's way of saying, my hero. Or at least that's what I tell myself. But that is all I'm giving you from that essay. Again, do yourself a favor and Google Jew Without a Gun by Robert J. Average. And the point is clear. Just get out of there. Hit the gas. It doesn't matter if you hit something with your car, or including a person who shouldn't be there, but just get out of there. And I think that's the point, and I think that's what the Minneapolis driver did. Moving along, I've told those of you who watch my videos several times that my go-to website, even before Drudge Report for information related to the Barack Obama instigated riots going on right now, is the Gateway Pundit at thegatewaypundit.com. Definitely something you want to bookmark. As my regulars know, I really enjoy the comments sections to what is posted, from where it's members of the public posting, and they're usually pretty good. So before I go, let me give you some fun and/or informative ones to what Jim Hoft, who is the man behind the Gateway Pundit, what he has posted about the Minneapolis incident. Piltdown Man writes, first rule of driving through protesters, always put your snow chains on first. To which Republican Don responds, I officially declare this to be the feel-good story of the day. AE24 provides safety tips, which are, well, these safety tips presumably are for the so-called peaceful protesters, whom, again, I call Michael Brownshirts. These safety tips are, 1, don't stand in front of a moving vehicle. 2, don't count on the compassion of the driver to stay stopped when you're trying to beat them. I like that. Lynn Graham responds to that by saying, imagine what Reginald Denny could have accomplished with his semi. Only thing that stopped him was his compassion. American Patriot writes, as a small child, my parents taught me not to stand in the street because I could get hit by a car. It was a lesson I then taught my children. So far, we are all still alive. The moral of this little story is, stay out of the effing street, stupid subhumans. There was a time when a lot of you all, I'm sure, would be a lot more offended by a phrase like stupid subhumans, but based on what we're seeing, I won't go there. Tater Novem contributes, why were they on the car? Was the car on a public street just trying to get somewhere? Should the driver just let someone pull them out of the car and beat them to death? Don't want to get run over? Don't jump on someone's hood. Once they started trying to get in the car, could make a case you feared for your life. And he didn't run over the guy. He got stuck on the bumper or something and didn't go under. And Darrell Standing responds to that by saying, of course he should just let them wreck his car and beat him. Where's your sensitivity? And Darren Wilson should have allowed himself to be killed to show his love of diversity. Lou Ann Watson writes, I will not become Reginald Denny. Final one I'm going to give you here. Jeff Traub writes, didn't those morons learn anything from Michael Brown's walking in the road versus sidewalk? Anyhow, stay tuned here, and to do so, subscribe to the ATAXIN channel on YouTube, ATAXIN, where you are right now. Hit subscribe. For breaking developments related to the mob of what I call Michael Brownshirts. This has been Adam Taxon.